Okay, I'm going to add the CycleEdge software, but before I do add it to the members area at globaltraderclub.com, what I want to do is to take a 14-day review with you guys so we can see if there are any bugs and we can see how this thing is working, right? So I'm going to do, for the benefit of this exercise, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Bitcoin, all right? And I'll tell you why I'm doing Bitcoin, because it takes the weekends into consideration and the reporting will give us the weekends as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up CycleEdge. Let's open it up. And once I open it up, as you can see, the first thing that comes up is this page says report period limited to 14 days ahead of today, adjusted automatically. Okay, great. So that means I can only take 14-day forward reporting. There's a good reason for that, because there are a bunch of calculations behind that platform. And once you have a big time period, like you got to sit and wait for like ages for the reports to come through. So what am I going to do? Well, what does CycleEdge do? CycleEdge gives us the trading days, the swing periods, the good days that we might have in the market. It might give us shock days. Okay, it might let us know when we're going to have a peak day, gain day, drain day, all that kind of information. When we can expect subtle bullish movements or bearish movements. When can we expect that, and why? And in which industry as well. So if we have all that kind of information, we can integrate it to our technical analysis and money management. So what does that give us? Well, first of all, it's going to transform our trading, because we should have a higher level of success rate. The other thing is we're going to know what days and hours to trade in advance, which nobody else does. So you can't like start the week on Monday and say, you know what, this week I'm going to trade on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I don't really need to do anything on Monday. I can go and hit the gym, or I can do my daily chores or whatever I need to do, and avoid the screen. But if you don't know these days and hours, then you're stuck in front of the screen looking for your setup, and that's also a sign and a cause of anxiety, because you're always in front of the screen. So it's causing you stress and anxiety, and you feel like you're missing out on a move. You feel like London did the move, and you're looking at it in New York thinking, God, I missed it. I wish I opened the charts during the London hours, and so on. So that gets rid of all the ambiguity and all the waste of time and the stress that we go through as traders. So if I add this timing analysis, CycleEdge, into my technical analysis and money management, I should reduce anxiety and stress, increase my success rate, and the markets should just be a matter of preparing for a certain day at certain hours, rather than me running around thinking what to trade, when to trade. All right. So Bitcoin, I've selected that. I've set an anchor date for this before, and that's the high of that's the all-time high that we did on the 6th of October 2025. You can choose any asset you want here. I've got precious metals, equity indices, crypto shares, and there's a custom button here right at the end. Now, if you do a custom button, then you have to select the category here. All right. Why? Because that's important for timing. All right. And then you select your anchor date, which is a confirmed high or a low, something that's high and low, like I've picked here. And if you have the first trade date, that's great. Put it in there. For anything here, it's going to automatically come up here, so you don't have to worry about anything that's on the list. Over time, we can expand the list. I can actually put a bunch of stuff on there, expand the asset list, and make this really comprehensive. It's not a problem. Report period, because I can only take 14 days up front ahead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 1st of June, and I'm going to do it all the way into the 24th of June. For the benefit of this exercise, I'm obviously, because we're day trading as well, not just swing trading, but day trading too, I'm going to include the intraday swing and trade hours in this report. And then I am going to generate a full report. Here it is. Now, a good thing here is if you're a member to the Global Trader Club and you want this as a PDF, just let me know. Write me an email, say, Marty, I'm a member of the club. Can you please send me this Bitcoin report until the 24th of June? And I will just send you the PDF so you can actually track what happened from the 1st of June. If we had like volatile days, energetic days, pushy days, sideways days, you can all check them out. And then you can also follow this for the next 14 days until the 24th of June to see what is really happening. And the benefit of that for you and for me, obviously, is you get used to the format. You begin to understand the format. I'm just going to save this. As you can see, I've done here SP 500 and gold before. So I'm going to do 1 to 24 June Bitcoin cycle report. I'm going to save that so I can send that to you. If you're in the members area, just let me know. If you're not in the members area, just follow through. Okay, it's not a big deal. Now, what do I have here? The bottom line. One apex signal detected. So that's going to be good for us. What does that mean? The platform's highest conviction signal of a G cycle, H cycle, grade A intraday alignment. Per backtest, this combination historically produces clean structural pivots with near zero drawdowns. Okay, $100+ moves on gold. Priority date is Thursday, the 18th of June. These take precedence over generic tier counts. Build position sizing around them. So this is already good information, because if I'm trading rarely, I can just pretty much say to myself, you know what, I have a busy month this month, or I have a busy week during that week, but I know when to trade already. Okay, we're on the 10th of June and it's talking about the 18th of June. All right. Now, I've got 62 signals, some red, some orange, some yellow, one apex. Okay. Now, you might say, how come you got 62 signals, but there's only 3 here and 9 here? That adds up to 12 plus the 1, 13, because I've got intraday signals as well. Okay. But these are for the days, and the intraday signals are going to be like these days here, right? These signals there. So these are also counted, but they're intraday. Okay, that's why you could get total 62 signals. But in terms of the day being great, okay, we only have 1, and I've got 3 days, which are like, okay, good to trade, 69.2% hit rate. That's good to know in advance. Plus 9 between 7 and 10, it's a 54.1% hit rate. Okay, so I've got May, June. I didn't take May, but it will give me the summary of the previous month. So structural dates, Sunday 31st of May, these 11 to 13 May windows mark secondary inflection points. So even if I take a look at Sunday the 31st of May, you guys want to take a look at Sunday 31st of May. This is the daily, 31st of May. That's your 31st of May, and that's your downfall. Okay, so that was like good to know in advance, obviously. All right, but because we're looking at June, let's start with June. So we've got 1 to 7. Now, every day we'll have a daily insight. All right, so you're going to know what this daily insight is, and it's going to give you a comment here as well. And also, it's going to give you 2nd, 3rd, all the way into the 7th. All right, 6. Where's the 5th? Look, the 4th and 5th. Look at that. No scheduled signals, quiet day, consolidation range bound expected on the 4th and the 5th of June. All right, so it's just telling us don't muck around here. Okay, and these are standard days, so the weekend is just a standard day. So be mindful. And at the end of every week, you get a weekly insight, and at the end of every month, there's a monthly summary. All right, so you can see like mildly bullish, mildly bearish, and so on. One thing to remember here, we are looking at a bunch of markets. Okay, so despite the fact that this has just got Bitcoin timing in it, you have to understand that when it says mildly bullish, we have to see what it's for. So it's technology, software, communication. So this is probably mildly bullish for NASDAQ, all right? But it doesn't have to be mildly bullish for crypto, because crypto is a currency, all right? So let's take a look. So mindful of these market phases, bullish recovery. It doesn't have to be bullish because the sector is technology and software communications. All right, so be mindful for that one. But it's giving me 3 trade hours, and it's giving me a heads up. It's saying, listen, today is structurally volatile. Okay, macro event in play, mildly bullish, tilts technology. It doesn't say crypto or Forex. Okay, so macro event in play is important though. Why? Because whatever the macro event for whatever I'm trading is still intact. So if indices are going up, that's still intact. If currency is coming down or gold is coming down, that is still intact. So I don't want to do something that is against that macro move, and that's important information. So let's take a look. What can I do? I can trade today. I've got grade A hours, 3:55. I'm just 3:54. I'm just going to round these up. So 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and let's say midnight or 11:45, right? Let's see, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 11:45. Let's see, when's that going to be? Monday the 7th, right? Monday the 7th is here. So I've got 3 o'clock. That's your 3 o'clock there. And your 4 o'clock should be there. Oops, sorry, there. Now remember, this platform is the same during the summertime as my time zone. All right, so 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So this is 4 o'clock here, and 5 o'clock is going to be there. All right, so this time is where the market, as you can see, started to give way. Now before that, you can see it's a sideways market. So what can you really do in that sideways market? If you're doing technical analysis, obviously, okay, this is your zone there. All right, once the market starts to be volatile, you can see it's like breaking down from the highs. You can sell off, and then let's bring it back into Monday here, right? That's your Monday. Now the other hour is here, 23:48, right? 46. So 23:50, pretty much closing right there. Okay, and you can see the market still at that hour selling to the downside. All right, so this downwards push is continuing with that. Now, one thing to remember, if you're in the members area, what are you getting? You are getting the daily trade hours, right? So these hours are not the same as these hours. These hours are specific for an asset. These hours are like for the whole markets. Okay, so these are things I need to look out for. Now, if I've got this in my hand, so let's take a look at the archive, right? I want to look at June, week of June, 1st of June, right? Here we are on the 1st of June. Now, this is the hours from the report. And in addition, I do hours for the 1st of June manually. And remember, I was away on that day, but I gave you the hours for June at the end of May, right? So you were all well prepared. So let's see what happened here. We had 10:25, 1 o'clock, 1:55. Let's take a look. 10.25, 10.25 here, market pushing down, and then 1 o'clock, was it, somewhere around there, 1 to 155, then 435, 1 to 155, that's your, whoops, that's your 1 o'clock, 155 is there, oops, and then volatile towards 8 o'clock can target 11. Volatile towards 8 o'clock. That's your 7, that's your 8 o'clock there. Alright, so the market coming down, 11 o'clock sell-off. Now this, like I said, is a different ball game. Okay, so this is a different ball game. This is me calculating things manually. Okay, that's for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, Friday we didn't have a video. These videos should be working because I've got them running, so I don't know why they are not. Oh, here we go. If you're in the members area and sometimes the video gives you a signal like that, just refresh. All right, so here we are. So on those days we had grade A pushing volatile. Okay, and that's what it's saying, structural volatile. So 1st of June market, from there, this is the 1st of June. Okay, just going down. All right, now remember, in the members area there is also the swing days periods, which you can see. May 30, all right, obviously that's a Saturday, okay, but still at the end of the day this is crypto, right? So May 30 we're still on, May 29, May 30 starting off, and then the peak day is 3 to the 4th of June. That's June 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th of June. So you can see as the market comes down into that zone, pushing in. All right, so we have a start date or a push date. Okay, so knowing that in advance is what you are getting, and that information is gold, because information is what's going to transform your trading. All right, so by looking at days when I've got good days to trade, okay, then I'm like, okay, you know, let's take this, let's match it to our price action, let's match it to our technical analysis, let's match it to our bias, and let's just trade it. Okay, this is June 2, so all you have to do is just, you know, read the daily, and here I've got a peak 9-way, 54.1% hit rate. All right, it says consolidation, quiet accumulation zone. 1 intraday trade hour window flagged, single shift moment. Okay, so this is going to be important for us. It's a shift moment. Watch the exchange time clock for that hour. Trade only the flagged window below, ignore other hours. Okay, this is 8 o'clock. If you are in the members area, obviously you're going to take into account my hours as well if you're using them. All right, and then let's take a look. So that was Tuesday, the 2nd of June. What did it give me? 8 p.m. June. Tuesday. Oh my goodness, all the way down there. 8 o'clock. So nothing to talk about here. It's just going down. All right. Obviously, if you're also using my hours as well for the intraday, market can be pushy in one direction. You see, I make such comments. Okay, and this is also very important for anybody who's, you know, using the information. So what have I got? 3:30, 6:30. Let's take a look. 3:30 is there, and I've got 6:30. 630 is there. All right, so market just turning around nice and easy. Okay, just basically following through. What else do I have? Market can be pushy in one direction coming into 1230 and 630. So we understand we're pushy in one direction. That's good information. 1230 is all the way there. And look how it pauses. All right. And then, what did I say afterwards? And then to 630. So we can just follow this into 630. Where's 630? 630 is right there, guys, right at the bottom of the flow. All right, and that's your 8 o'clock. So knowing all that information in advance is obviously good. All right. So all we have to do is just bring time together with the pricing. That's all. All right. So that's good. Quite accumulation zone. When is that? From 1900 to 03. Okay, the next day. Right. So that's like on 2nd of June. All right, from 7 p.m. my time until 3 a.m. Well, let's take a look. This is 7 p.m. my time. Right, 7 p.m. Remember, 6:30 down here, 7 o'clock here. So 7 p.m. consolidation into 3 a.m. Where's that 3 a.m. is there? So market just going sideways until 3 a.m. Where's 3 a.m.? That's your 3 a.m. That's your resistance, your 7 o'clock. There, that's just 7 o'clock. That's the low it bounced off from, breaks down, closes below. It's bearish, trade hour, sell off. All right, so then what? Wednesday, quiet day, below tiered threshold, background noise, rely on price structure. 3 trend windows signals active, multi-day directional context in play. This is gold. Whoops. Multi-day directional context in play. What does that tell you? Hey, what's been happening for the past few days? We're going down. So this is still in play. So I already have a bias. If the market is going down for the past few days, this context is still in play. All right, let's do it. So when we're going to do something about it, 535, 1015. Okay, this is according to the CycleEdge. And on that day, Wednesday, I also have a few hours up my sleeve, so we'll see what happens. Do I have the same hours? Let's take a look. 535, 1015. I've got 540. I don't have a 1015, but it has a 1015, so it's good. I'm catching it out. It's catching me out. The reason it is because there is a 12 dimensional. It's like a linear programming. So if you know about linear programming, you know what I mean. Okay, so there are 12 variables there. So sometimes I catch stuff, sometimes it will catch stuff. And let's see for Wednesday. So this is a day which is a quiet day. It's a low day. All right, so you don't want to be mucking around, but you can follow the trend. Okay, it's fine. The entries are grade C. Okay, so 535, 1015 on a Wednesday. 535, 1015, 535, 1015. This is 535. Market going down. 1015. This is 1015. Market, as you can see, is just going down from the same spot. All right. If I wanted to use also my hours to double check. Okay, so I've got 115 as well here, and I've got 530, 220. So 220. Market coming to the downside. at 220 is there. Okay, so that's your 220 market makes a low. All right. And then what? What did I say? 530. Let's see what I have for 530. That's 530. Market taking a dip again. All right. We're going up, taking a dip. Look where they're selling. They are selling from the same place. Trade hour sell-off. Trade hour sell-off. And what does CycleEdge tell us? It says, look, multi-day directional context in play. Follow the freaking trend. Okay. Thursday, Friday says relax, nothing happening. So I can have a long weekend Thursday, Friday. This is Thursday, Friday. Okay. Market choppy sideways. Let's see Thursday, Friday. That is the 5th and the 6th. So the market already made that low point, and those 2 days after Wednesday, they're just market just sticking around there. Okay, as you can see, we're like sideways since then. So the information is already good for me to use. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, so then all I have to do is just, put it into my technical analysis. So you can check it out for the 6th, the 7th. Make sure you look at the grade of the trade, the grade of the day as well. Okay, so these are important, the grade of the day. And obviously the weekly insight is important, because it's going to say, listen, the most significant window this week is Monday, June 1. Okay, so make that day count. That's what it's saying. If I've missed out on that day, still not a big deal, because the system is telling me, listen, follow it through. Okay, just follow through. And as long as I follow it through, and I can use actually my intraday timing windows here as well in the members area, then I'm cooking with gas, as they say. So that's the weekly insight. You can take a screenshot, check it out. This is for the 8th to the 14th of June. Same kind of setup, guys. It's telling me, listen, relax. It's a low action day. Background noise. Okay, so background noise, rely on price structure. So that's already good information. If I take a look at the 8th of June, where are we? That's your 8th of June. Background noise. Market just going sideways. So that is already king. That's like, don't muck around. Why risk losing the money you just made on that golden big day to the downside? All right. So every day we'll do a video. I'll do a short one for every day. So let's finish this with today, right? 10th of June. 10th of June, I've got a quiet day. All right. It's low. One intraday trade hour. I've got 8 o'clock, 10:20, and after midnight. All right. It's grade C trading. So it's not really hot, despite the fact that it says bullish recovery, steady growth phase. You have to understand it's not a hot day and the signals are not great. All right, so you have to be mindful. So let's take a look at the 10th, which is today, right? Let's see what's going on. Well, this is how it is. You see, it's not a great day, so no need to risk trading and mucking around on the 10th of May. So what should I really wait for then? Is there a day coming up that's going to be good? Well, Friday the 12th, Thursday I've got nothing on. Friday, another quiet day, not really grade A trading, so let it go. Now, Saturday might be something, okay, if you're keen on trading Saturday. Well, if you take the next 3 days off, trading on Saturday might not be such a bad thing, all right? But it's a 54.1% hit rate. So, expansion expected in these industries. So, we don't know how that's going to impact Bitcoin, obviously. Market phase, speculative. Trade hour 6:21 my time, so you can just convert that to your time zone. All right, and then we'll see how things pan out the following week. Here we've got Monday, June 15, June 16, nothing scheduled. June 17, June 18, that's good. Okay, it already highlighted that, so you can actually get ready for a June 18 blowout. And you should get ready from the 17th, right? So we should check where the market is on the 17th, okay, Wednesday, and see where we're hanging on the 18th. I hope that makes sense. And look, on the 19th, you can follow through. Okay, so that's going to make a move. If that makes the move, then that's logical because that's the follow through day. Okay, regime is in continuation. I mean, that is like good to know. So no matter if you know the direction, okay, then you know it's going to continue. So that's like really good to know. Multi-day directional context in play. So this is already good. We're trend following. Watch the session for directional commitment. Pivot probability is real but not guaranteed. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. But imagine adding this information, which is high probability correct, into your trading. That just filters you out from all the junk like today. Like, I mean, what do you want to trade today? It's just going sideways. And yesterday, Tuesday. It's just noise. If you look at the daily chart, we're just mucking around sideways. Okay, so understanding that there's nothing really happening is already like keeping you out of trouble, and keeping you out of trouble means you're not losing money. Okay, so that's already a good thing as well. So that's the 19th. Okay, and then I've got Saturday 20, no scheduled signals. Sunday is a low day, mildly bearish. You can check it out. And then I've got the weekly insight. You can take a screenshot of that as well, as you can see. And then that's your monthly summary. Okay, and that's the 2 weeks. So what we'll do is we'll have short videos every day to see how this is working out. If you have any recommendations, just write a comment. If you want the PDF version, and if you're in the members area, just drop me a line and I'll just email it to you. I think it's just good to have. It's good to have so you can see it as well. You can look at it and just read it, and it's like a trade plan for you. Imagine having tomorrow's newspaper, next week's newspaper, next month's newspaper in your hand right now, and it's a high probability correct setup. All right, so hope this video was insightful. Like I said, we're going to take a few days to look into it. Next week I am planning on integrating it into the members area as a software, and accordingly the memberships will change as well. So if you're not a member but want to be a member, I would wait. Okay, I would wait till I put this up, so you'll be in the right category. Because I just do everything myself, I really am a solopreneur, so I do everything myself, the website, everything. So this is why things take a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, I like to put something good up front. I don't want to just bring out a software with a beta version and check if people are using it or not and giving crappy information. I rather have a job well done and put it out there as best as I can, and then as we use it, bugs will obviously happen as they do with everything technological, but the initial product should be the best that I can do, so that we can we don't get into any risky situation. But in any case, like I said, timing should accompany your technical analysis and money management. So this is really for people who are already trading. This is really for people who want to use their time and life efficiently and effectively and do the things they want to do, because you know when to trade, what day to trade, and reduces your risk, increases your success rate. Okay, but you should have an idea about what trading is, obviously, and you can use this tool to really pump up your success rate and your efficiency and effectiveness in the market, whether you're swing trading or day trading. All right, have a good one.